Oh no, oh no, oh no. Jump issue 52. What's going on this week? It's way too much, just way too much. What's going to happen in One Piece? The amount of information is insane, so let's dive right in and talk about it today. This is chapter 1132 of One Piece, and I want to get started. First, take a look at this cover page. Look, Moria appears here, and Yamato is drawn too. Does that mean something? Wait, Moria stole Yamato's sword? Is he the culprit? Oni no Koyamato's love? What is this? Third Bomb 19, Moria returns to Wano country. He sees the Shimotsuki family's sword and seems lost in thought. What does this mean? What's happening? Look at this. It's amazing. Yamato comes chasing after, and honestly, it's cute in some ways. But look at this. Moria is wearing a Wano-themed outfit with Moonlight written on it. So this makes sense now. Moria was originally from the Moonlight Islands, right? The Moonlight Islands are said to be located in East Blue, and it's rumored that the people of Wano fled there illegally 50 years ago. Maybe there was even a daimyo there. Maybe Moria's father left the country illegally, and Moria inherited his will, returning to Wano. If you reverse Moonlight, it becomes Next Moon. Could this tie in with the Peach ceremony? But still, why steal the sword? What does it mean to look at the Shimotsuki family's sword and get lost in thought? What's going on? Here, on Yamato's cover page. This is it, right? This is the Shimotsuki family's sword. So instead of placing it in a cheap house, they stored it in Hakumai's Enma. In other words, it's the third grade. This whole thing started with storing the Shimotsuki family's sword, right? And originally, Moria was known for stealing Shusui, which is considered Wano's treasure. But how could someone take such a treasure from a land full of strong samurai? Maybe it has something to do with Moria's connection to a daimyo. And now, when dealing with the Shimotsuki family, this comes up again? This is wild. So basically, here's what happened. Yamato was napping at the door, and someone stole the sword. There was this black figure, it must have been Moria, who just snuck in and took it. It's clear that Moria escaped from Blackbeard's grasp. I was wondering where he'd go next after escaping the island, but I didn't expect him to come to Wano. This was completely unexpected. Wait a minute, it's so intense. I don't know what to do today. Let's move on to the next part. Now, this is on page 23, and it's insane. From the moment I saw it, I was shocked. Shanks is here. Shanks came. He's on the red horse of the New World. Lucky Roo? Wait, you didn't make Loki your crewmate? You wanted him as a crewmate? But you didn't want Elbaf's prince as your crewmate. Shanks and the Prince of Elbaf, what's their relationship like? Lucky Roo casually asks, wasn't it fine not to make Loki your crewmate? This is crazy. Rockstar 2 says something like, if we could make the sun god a crewmate, that'd be amazing. And Shanks replies, the real sun god isn't like that. What does he know? What's the real sun god? Rockstar wonders what Shanks means by saying, the real sun god isn't like that. Is it something beyond what we know? What does Shanks know about the truth? In the flashback, the giants appear, and this scene is incredible. It reminds me of the Marineford War and Beckman's iconic Don't Move moment. In the flashback, Loki has guns pointed at him, but he's all tied up. Honestly, why bother pointing guns at him? He can't move. It's clear he's not a threat. Beckman even tells him, don't move, but Loki's already restrained. Could Beckman be hinting that Loki could free himself at any moment? And then Shanks intervenes, telling Beckman to wait. Loki says, red-haired? This makes it clear that Loki and Shanks have known each other for a long time. The flashback reveals their deep connection. What's going on here? Loki is still alive? Shanks got excited too, saying, you're the one who survived. I thought you were dead because of the incident 6 years ago. What happened 6 years ago? Lucky Roo was shocked too. Could it be that you came to Elbaf 6 years ago? That's a surprise for sure. Lucky Roo seemed incredibly surprised too. But it wasn't just about Loki showing up, it was the chaos caused by the red-haired pirates back then. Shanks said, at that time, I was desperate to protect Captain Roger's keepsake. What? That's too cool. What was that conversation about? What exactly happened 6 years ago in Elbaf? Shanks fought like a demon, protecting something for Captain Roger. He was called Roger the Demon, wasn't he? Shanks' battle must have been one of those incredible, legendary fights. In the end, even Whitebeard showed up, and it turned into a huge mess. That war, along with Germa's bomb squad, was terrifying. It was a major war in the Crimson Country of Elbaf, involving Whitebeard, Germa, Shanks, and Loki. Honestly, this is shocking. Is this why Shanks is called a warmonger? Because of his connection to Orland? Germa? Scary stuff. Shanks and Loki were understandably shaken, but they pushed through. The tension is palpable. On the next page, the conversation turns to the egg Shanks risked his life to protect. Loki asks, "What happened to that egg?" Shanks replies, "Oh, that egg? It's become a magnificent griffin now." An egg? Now a griffin? Wait, could it be that the giant egg aboard the Oro Jackson belonged to Captain Roger? It hatched into a griffin? Shanks' sword is called Griffin, isn't it? Beckman was surprised. That egg belonged to the Pirate King? Shanks confirmed, yes, it's Griffin. It's quite large, very impressive. Apparently, this griffin is what came out of the egg back then. Loki's reaction to seeing it was funny. He was startled every time. Shanks gently petted its head, saying, "Good boy." So a massive griffin emerged from Roger's Oro Jackson. The griffin made unique sounds, almost like crying. It doesn't seem to speak, contrary to expectations for mythical creatures. Still, it seems very intelligent, enjoying being petted. Moving on, the scene changes. Someone asks, "Where's Hyrule?" It seems the subordinate giants were sent to retrieve him. Now we're back to the present. Someone wonders, doesn't he understand how crucial this moment is? It's the middle of the Yule. Here comes a term we don't know, Yule. What is it? Gels and others talk about it as if it's common knowledge. Then it's explained. Yule is the ceremony to choose the next king. Ah, so that's what it means. Gels continues, yes, they're even burning Adam's wood for the ritual. Burning Adam's wood? That's incredibly valuable. The giants seem to think it's just firewood, but it's the tree of God, a sacred tree. Is it okay to burn something so valuable for a ritual? That shows how significant Yule is. Someone was furious, saying, doesn't he understand how important this moment is? The scene transitions beautifully to Frankie, hinting at a connection to the Adam's wood. Could it be that this wood is the same Adam's wood that Frankie uses? I realized it, and Dory and Brogy too. So, what about it? Oh, I see. The giant tribe is probably a bit clueless, aren't they? They likely don't know anything about the value of the ships in the world of these little humans. That's why they don't fully grasp how important this wood from Adam is. Frankie, on the other hand, is thrilled, exclaiming, "Are you serious? With this much? How many ships can we build?" He's incredibly excited. But Cash and Brogy seem to be subtly warning him, saying it's better not to think about meddling too much with the world's affairs. And then they add, this wood belongs to the sun god, emphasizing how closely tied the world tree Adam and the sun god are. It all connects to Luffy's declaration of being the sun god. It's fascinating how it all ties together. Reflecting on the mysterious adventures in that enigmatic country, it truly feels significant in hindsight. Brooke then arrives, exclaiming, "We've arrived, everyone!" Robin notices something peculiar and points out, "Look, that giant is collapsed, and that hat, could it be Saul?" Robin, overwhelmed with emotion, feels the connection. This moment recreates her first encounter with Saul, where he was also collapsed. The parallels are clear, and the emotional impact is immense. I was worried they wouldn't meet again, but now it all makes sense. It was for this dramatic reunion that Saul had to be shown falling earlier. I'm so relieved. The crew is overcome with emotion. Seeing Frankie, Brooke, and everyone so moved is incredible. It makes me wonder how overwhelming it would be if Brooke ever reunites with Laboon. A grand banquet would surely ensue, as always happens when these characters celebrate. Even Lilith is taken aback, experiencing the outside world for the first time beyond Egghead Island. Then there's the matter of Saul. What will happen next? The next focus is on Loki. This chapter begins and ends with him. Continuing from the previous part, Loki talks with Luffy, offering a deal. Release me, and I'll tell you about the red-haired one. But Luffy stubbornly refuses, making Loki think, what's with this guy? Loki, growing frustrated, remarks that the world they're in could be considered an underworld, a mythical realm. The word underworld refers to a land of the dead, often associated with places like Hades or Hell. This ties into the mysterious figure appearing here, Ace. His silhouette resembles the decorations of Elbaf, and his past struggle with Blackbeard over the sun and darkness seems to have foreshadowed all of this. This could be the greatest plot twist in One Piece history. If Ace indeed returns from the underworld, it's a reunion nobody could have predicted. This story just keeps getting more exciting. I'm astonished at how intricate these connections are. This chapter proves once again why One Piece is such a masterpiece. They're promoting Iryuchi properly here, aren't they? I see no son. This episode really did cause a lot of buzz. It was truly a legendary episode, especially in Aniwa, where it was featured as Rock Donbury performing voiceovers for One Piece. That's something that gained a lot of attention. It's no surprise YouTube is thriving right now. This is definitely something worth watching. As we approach the climax, we also have to wonder, will Nose secure their 6th consecutive victory? Honestly, winning so much feels almost unfair at this point, but it's something we'll definitely discuss more in depth. Tomorrow, we'll also be diving deep into Nose's Kaizen Do with episode 1130, which was just overwhelming, to be honest. Starting with Moria and ending with Ace? What an amazing treat for fans. It was incredibly exciting. This jump session captured all of that perfectly. Having Moria make an appearance was already thrilling, and with Shanks showing up, the story moved forward at lightning speed. Episode 1132 brought out so many characters and really shifted the world's dynamics. So, make sure to check out tomorrow's Donbury Deep Dive episode. See you then.